Hey, how you doing, YouTube? This is Randy Man Cave. If you're new to my channel, please hit the like button. Please subscribe. Here we talk about home entertainment, talk about video gaming, talk about movies, stuff like that. If you're into that type of thing, physical media, please hit the like button. Please subscribe. Welcome to my channel. So, for that being said, I'm starting something new on my channel. It's called The Sleepers. What I call The Sleepers is like movies people sleep on. And when you finally go and watch them, if you go to the movies or just wait till they come out physical media, or wait till they go to home streaming, whatever your option are, turn out to be good, turn out to be a hit, turn out to be like, hey, I like this movie. You know what? I want to put it in my collection. That's why I call sleepers. I was sitting here just thinking about it. It's like, you know what? I got a lot of movies in my collection that I watched. Some I haven't came around to. Some that I'd be like, I get to it when I get to it. And then when I finally get to it, I enjoying. I'll be like, damn, I should have watched this movie like a long time ago, but I slept on it. So that's why I call it sleepers. So, I have a lot of them in my collection. Sometimes, they call buying blind. There's some movies that you see the cover on, you read behind of a cover, you be like, oh man, I think I might like this movie, something that you into, and you end up purchasing it, and then turn out to be a piece of shit of a movie, which I have a few of those as well. Some of them I'm getting rid of, some of them I might give another chance due to like whatever the situation was. I probably wasn't paying attention to it. I probably had a lot of interruption in the middle of the movie. I just didn't have enough time to sit down and watch it and give it enough thought. So there's a few movies that I have to sit back and watch again to be like, all right, I like the movie. Or all right, time for me to toss it. Just open up, another spot for a movie I might enjoy or something I might come around and buy and put in my collection. So I haven't grabbed all movies that I slept on. I have plenty of them. Trust me, I do. I only picked out six. So this be my first video. I'm gonna label as sleepers. So if you ever have any movie that you slept on that you'd be like, hey, you know what, this is actually pretty good. I'm going to get it, or I'm gonna put it in my top 10 favorite movies of all times. Whatever your thing is. If you have any of that, please comment in below of the video and let me know what movie. And you never know, I might go ahead and take a look at it myself. So if you leave a comment, let me know what movie that you into that you slept on, you never really gave a chance, and you finally gave it a chance, and you end up liking it. Let me know. So that being said, I'm gonna start with my list. I only have, let's see, I only pick one, two, three, four, five, six. So I got six movies here that I slept on, and I end up finally watching and end up being pretty good. And so some of them are movie series that I end up continuing buying the series and actually staying consistent with. So for that being said, I'm gonna start off with Jigsaw. Slept on this movie. I was pretty much getting tired of the Jigsaw whole series. So I didn't really pay no mind to when they came out with Jigsaw. I brushed it off so many times. And then one day I was sitting at home, didn't really have nothing to watch. I saw Jigsaw. I said, hey, fuck it. I seen what I think it was eight of them at the time. Might as well throw another one in there. So I ended up watching Jigsaw, and you know what? It was actually pretty good. It's better than the last one, and I actually really enjoyed it. So when I found out that they put it on physical media, I went out there and brought the 4K and watched it again. And again, I still enjoy it. So this was one hell of a sleeper that actually put me back on the franchise that I fell asleep on a while ago. Some of them I can't even remember what happened in the movies, and some of them I might have to sit back and watch. And they came out with Saw X that I purchased on Black Friday. I didn't watch yet, so pretty much this movie right here put me back on the franchise, on the Saw franchise. So for that being said, I really slept on Saw. Jigsaw, you might as well call Jigsaw Saw 9. Let's say Saw 9. Let's see, the fifth one, the one movie I'm about to show you is an animated movie. A lot of people gave it a lot of hate, and I get why, but when I finally watched it, it actually wasn't that bad. I won't say it was my best animated movie, but it was okay. It's a rewatchable. I could watch it again. It's going to be one of those animated movies that I'd be like, hey, you know what? I ain't got, maybe me just go ahead and pop it in, give it another watch. But I really enjoyed it. It was okay. So for that being said, I went and brought it, and that's Lightyear. I get it. A lot of people got mad about Tim Allen didn't voice Buzz, which I was pretty. I get it. I grew up on Toy Story, and then when I found out that it was Chris Evans talking for Buzz, it didn't really. When I finally watched the movie, it didn't really get to me, that much. First I guess when I first heard it, I didn't want to see it, but then, I the Blu-ray was on sale for $5. I went and bought the Blu-ray. I sat here and watched it with my kids, and both of us enjoyed it. So, I fell asleep on Lightyear, and it was definitely a sleeper. So it took me a while to finally. I think it was out for like damn near 2 years, but I finally said like, you know what, let me give it a watch, and I finally watched it. So it was definitely a sleeper for me. Like I said, these movies sleepers for me. I know some people be like, yo, you slept on that, yo. How can you sleep on that, yo? That's my shit. Like, yo, for me, it wasn't really one of those movies I was like reaching out for at the time. So when I heard it was coming out with a Buzz Lightyear solo movie, I was pretty intrigued about it. I was like, you know what? Let me wait to the preview. I seen the preview, and I don't know, it didn't really suck me in. So I slept on it. It didn't make a big buzz, but at the end of the day, it was an okay movie. So it's rewatchable for me. Let's see. Got another one here. It's a recent purchase. I brought this just on Black Friday. I heard a lot of good things about it. I brushed it off because I didn't really fuck with part one like that. So I finally brought part two because people kept telling me watch it, and I finally watched it, and I agree. It's a pretty good animated movie, and that's Puss in Boots: The Last Wish. I wasn't a fan of the character, and I wasn't a fan of part one at all. So when I heard it was coming out the sequel years later, I wasn't really pumped up to see it, especially when I heard it was streaming on Peak. I think it was Peacock. Was it streaming on Peacock? I think it was Peacock. And I still didn't want to watch it. So when someone finally, I heard a lot of good reviews about it. I finally go ahead and purchase it. It was on sale on Black Friday for $9.99, so it wasn't really breaking my pocket. And I went and go ahead in part one because part one was not in my collection. I'm always one of those people like if I'm gonna buy a second one, I'm gonna have to buy off the first one. I might give the first one another watch just because I like part two. So part two pretty much saved from me watching Puss in Boots. So watching part two and actually enjoying it made me want to go and see part one again. Maybe I missed something. Maybe it was something that it was Shrek was popping off at that time when they came out with Puss in Boots, and I did like Shrek, but Puss in Boots I wasn't really a huge fan of. But the second one I really enjoyed. It was funny. The animation was great. I really highly recommend. It was definitely a sleeper in my eyes. All right, I have three more here. Next is The Meg. I slept on this because when I heard that Jason Statham was fighting a huge shark, I was like, nah, I'm good. But when I finally watched it, I actually enjoyed it. Like I really did enjoy it. I watched this movie so many times. I think I watched it like 3 or 4 times since I brought it in physical media. Then they came out with part two, and then yeah. So, but part one was definitely a sleeper for me. I slept on it. When I finally popped it in and watched it, I think it took me months after it came out till I finally sat there and watched it. And I understand why they moved ahead with part two because part one was definitely a sleeper for me. I didn't really enjoy it. As you can see, I got a Jaws shirt, so I'm a Jaws fan. So it was a long coming of a shark movie, and it came out with the Meg, and then part two was just straight garbage. I'm sorry, I won't say garbage, but it wasn't better than one. But this was definitely a sleeper. So there you go. All right, I have two movies here, and I'm gonna start with this is number two before I come down to number one. Number two got The Blackening. A lot of people wasn't interested in watching this movie, and guess what? I was one of them. Only reason I have this movie in my physical collection is because of the steelbook. I thought it was a pretty nice looking steelbook, and I thought to myself, these steelbooks, this movie wasn't as popular, and so I'm thinking to myself like, all right, let me go ahead and grab it because I feel like it's just when it sells out, it's going to sell out. It might come out with a reprint, but I'm pretty sure The Blackening is not one of the most popular steelbooks that's going to be out there on the market. So I just went ahead and purchased it. And you know what? My wife and I really did enjoy this movie. It was funny. It had me laughing, and then to a point where I have a Halloween movie night every year. And this was one of the movies I popped in, and my family here, they enjoyed it themselves. It was a funny movie. I enjoyed it. When they come out with a sequel, probably not. But I could say this: if I want a good laugh, horror movie, this is definitely going to be one of them I'm going to grab. Like I said, when it comes to comedy movies, you don't want to watch them multiple times over and over again because they're not going to be as funny as it was the first couple of times you watched it. So these one of these movies I'm going to pop in probably around Halloween time. I don't know, but I definitely enjoyed this movie. It was definitely a sleeper. When it first came out in the movie theaters, I wasn't really pressed to seeing it, and then when I brought it on physical media, I'm glad I did buy it because I enjoy it a lot. So it's definitely a sleeper. If you haven't seen it, check it out. Don't sleep on it. All right. And like I said, this one I had to get out because this movie right here made me fall in love with a character, made me become consistent with watching these movies. I have plenty of copies in my collection. I even have a figurine over my right corner if you don't see it. But this movie right here, change, in my opinion, change action movies because there's a lot of action movies that's trying to copy it out right now. But this movie right here, I definitely slept on. Tell you a quick story, real quick. Uh, Redbox. I know a lot of people don't even go to Redbox anymore, but back when Redbox was popping off, Fridays nights, I used to go to the Redbox, grab a couple of movies. Some movies that I never seen before, I decided like, you know what, it's just a fucking dollar. Fuck it, I'm just going and pay it, check it out, buy something I haven't seen before, and I purchased this movie. The reason I purchased this movie at the Redbox at the time was because somebody on Facebook purchased say, "Hey, this is the greatest action movie of the year by far." And I was like, "Whoa, hold up! I love action movies. Let me go ahead and get it." So when I found out this movie was in the Redbox, I went and purchased it. I bought 3 movies. This was the first movie I popped on that movie Friday night I had. It was just a long week. I popped it in, and I fell in love with it instantly. And then when I found out it was making more and more, I stayed consistent with it, going to the movies, watching them, buying them in my collection. And for that being said, that's John Wick. Part one, I fell asleep on this movie, heavy. I wasn't really pressed of seeing it, wasn't really thinking about it wasn't even on my radar, honestly. And then when it first dropped, it still wasn't on my radar. But till I seen people talking about it on social media, I finally went and go and see it, spend $1, just go and see it. Just to rent it out from the red box, and boom, that is history. After that, I watched John Wick damn near every year. Pretty sure I'm gonna watch all 4 of them one day. I just gonna have a John Wick day. But for that being said, this is my number one pick of sleepers, and I have plenty of sleepers in my collection. Where I'm planning on sharing with you. I do like talking about sleepers because a lot of people don't talk about movies that people sleep on, and you end up liking them. So those my 6 so far. My first video of sleepers. I have plenty more to coming. Check them out and let me know what movie you slept on and you end up liking it and is in your collection, or you just wash your hand there whenever you got time to. So for that being said, thank you for tuning in to my video. Appreciate for y'all sticking into the end. Peace.